Morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us at this webinar. Welcome, everyone. We'll have 2 minutes just to make sure that everyone can join. Thank you again for being here with us. Uh, my name is Carlos Hernandez. I'm the Chief of Sales at Mako Solar. Let's wait just 2 minutes for everyone to join and then we can start. Please, if you can write down via chat the chat of the webinar. If you can hear me, that would be great. Then I can be completely sure that everyone is uh, listening to me and everything is working okay. Okay, thank you, Laura. Perfect. I'll be back in 1 minute and then we will start the webinar. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hey, good morning. Thank you, everyone, for joining us at this webinar of Deye Inverters. Today, we'll be talking about Deye as a company, as well, reviewing their product portfolio and the solutions that this equipment can solve, and how you can design and use this equipment in your projects. To introduce myself, I'm Carlos Hernandez. I'm the Chief of Sales at Mako Solar for all the Caribbean and Latin America. It's a pleasure to have you all here. During the webinar, please feel free to ask any questions you have in the chat box, and we will be replying those questions as soon as possible. Or maybe if it's a question that can be solved at the end, then I'll wait till the end to solve it. Okay. I'm gonna just start by giving you a small presentation about Mako Solar, a really quick one. We are a wholesale distribution company. Basically, we sell solar equipment in 20 different countries across the Caribbean and Latin America. The idea of us being a solar distributor is to sell directly to installers, EPCs, developers. We don't sell equipment to end users or final customers. That's very important. We have 1,200 solar installers across 20 countries, the 20 countries that we sell, and we offer more than 800 SKUs to those installers. We have warehouses located in Florida, Dominican Republic, Panama, uh, Guatemala, Colombia, and we cover the whole region from those warehouses as well. Puerto Rico, I forgot to mention, but as well Puerto Rico. We are part of the Mako group. It's a group of wholesale distribution, and we have more than 100 years of experience doing wholesale distribution of very different products all over Latin America. This is our location. As I mentioned, we have uh, our main warehouse for the Caribbean that it's based in Florida, in Doral. I will show you up in the next slide where we are based. We as well have the Dominican Republic warehouse, Puerto Rico warehouse, and Panama warehouse. These are places where we can ship all over the Caribbean. So whatever the place is where you have a project in the Caribbean, we can serve it. The only place we can't sell it's Cuba, for political and economical reasons. But all the other places in the Caribbean, we can serve it, no problems at all. If you are maybe visiting or doing some works in the States, in Florida, you can visit us really easy at Doral. Our warehouse in Florida, it's in Doral. Here you have the address and the location. You can as well call us at the USA number, that it's the easiest number to reach us. And the idea is that you can see some of the products, get to know our team, get to see our warehouse as well, and basically uh, get a stronger relationship with us. So whenever you are in the States, please feel free to contact us and come visit us as well. Why it's interesting to work with Mako? First of all, we sell the top brands in the market. I'm gonna be a bit more specific into that in a next slide. You can have all you want and all you need for your solar solution or for your solar installation with us. So you can get the modules, the inverters, the racking, the batteries, the cable, sealant, labels, whatever you need for your project, you can get it with us. We have really flexible purchasing options. So basically, you can get the products from Florida next day, free shipping into Miami or whatever place near Miami or Doral. Or as well, you can buy directly from Panama with better pricing, bit longer time of delivery, longer lead times, but better pricing as well of different products, as I'm gonna show you in a few seconds. And of course, really important for us is to give you a really nice service, pre-sale service and post-sale service as well, with the warranties, whatever you may need with the equipment that you are buying from us. These are all the brands that we work with in the whole region. From Florida, these are the brands that you are gonna see mainly in our stock. J Solar Modules, Canadian Solar Modules as well, Solar Inverters, Fronius Inverters, microinverters from Enphase, racking from K2, Iron Rich, and Unirack. All regarding cables and connectors with Staubli, and as well for commercial industrial projects, SMA inverters. So really wide range of products and needs that you can cover directly from Florida. As I mentioned, next day free shipping. So it's really easy to get the products from us there. And from Panama, we'll have a wider range of products, wider range of brands, and really important to mention, usually better pricing due to non-taxing product coming to the US, so we can ship it directly from Panama with better pricing, for example, in modules and some case inverters. And of course, you can find Deye, in this case from Panama, that it's the main warehouse where we ship it and we store it for the whole region. Um, let's start with the webinar. So we're here to talk about Deye. Uh, Deye, for everyone, just to be clear, it's a company that was founded in 2007. It's a Chinese company, but it's one of the largest companies right now of inverter supply in the whole world. As I'm gonna show you next, DJ, it's really, really important for the hybrid inverter supply in not only in China but also in the States and Latin America, Caribbean. And well, right now, DJ is one of the biggest company with more than 200 employees, engineers, completely focused in R&D, developing new product, getting service as well for the products they already have, and all the time updating and making new updates for the product that they have in the market. So every time you'll have firmware updates of their inverters, getting better monitoring, getting better solutions all the time with the same inverters that you will have. Um, let's go ahead with some of the milestones that Deji has in their line, in their timeline. So 2007, that was the foundation year of the company. So it's almost 20 years in the inverter company sector. And right now, they've been growing really, really fast since 2019. And in 2020 was one of the biggest years for Deye because they uh, got number one hybrid inverter supplier in the USA. You may know Deye because they basically supply and manufacture the products for Solarc. So every product that you get from Solarc is basically a Deye manufacturing product in China. So it's a really important brand, and they got the number one place as inverter supplier, hybrid inverter supplier for the States. And as well, they got it for South Africa in 2020. Then they continue growing in the region. They are in 2020, they became second largest inverter brand in Brazil with a really, really large number, 168 megawatts in that year. And yeah, they basically began to expand to the whole Latin America and the Caribbean market. Um, they have not only hybrid inverter solutions, they also have string inverters, microinverters, and as well batteries. Right now and today, we're gonna focus mainly on hybrid inverters because, as you've seen in the last image, basically this is the top selling product that they have for the whole region. So basically it's the interest of Mako Solar to bring this solution to the market. Then if you have other projects regarding microinverters or string inverters that you are willing to review with the brand, please feel free to let us know. Natalia or Laura or myself, we can as well help you out to see some of these products. But we're gonna be focusing today in the hybrid inverter solutions, and I'm gonna mention a bit of how they work with their own batteries and with third-party manufacturers' batteries as well. I'm gonna show you up a little, a short video. But before, I'm gonna mention what are the solutions for hybrid inverters with Deye. So first of all, the single phase or split phase solutions, we have inverters that begin at at 5 kilowatt, and then we will go up to 12 kilowatts. Okay. Uh, so this is the whole one phase or split phase solution. It's really, really wide. You have the 5 kilowatt, 6 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, 12 kilowatt inverter. And then if we go three phase, then we have from 12 kilowatt till 50 kilowatt inverters. So really wide range of powers, really wide range of inverters. And I'm gonna show you this video because it's gonna be clearer and easier to understand how the technology of Deye works, what are the applications, and how you can fit it to your projects. So I'm gonna start with the video. Please let me know if you can hear properly the video audio.
Deye residential energy storage system consists of PV array, hybrid inverter, battery, electrical equipment, grid or diesel generator. It aims to store the surplus energy in the battery and supply the load when needed. It is also helpful in reducing your electricity bills and improving your energy independence. With the intelligent monitoring platform, you can get live information about the status of your system. In addition, it allows you set parameters and update firmware for inverter. In the morning, solar power is higher than load requirement. It serves local load and charges the battery at the same time. If excess energy is generated, it can be sold into mains grid. During the night, when there is no sunshine, battery bank discharges power to supply the load. When there is a grid outage, the battery storage can be triggered to power the household applications continuously. There are time-dependent electricity tariffs in most of countries. Deye Hybrid Inverter has 6 programmable time periods for battery charging and discharging to optimize your electricity usage habits and reduce your electricity bills finally. Having a 4 millisecond automatic switching time, Deye Residential Energy Storage System is able to ensure your electrical appliances operation smoothly, even with air conditioners, when suffering grid failure. If the switching time exceeds 10 milliseconds, the compressor of air conditioners may be overloaded and damaged. Deye Hybrid Inverter is completely compatible with diesel generator. More specifically, Deye Hybrid Inverter is capable of sending signal to start or stop the diesel generator at a certain condition, avoiding wasting diesel oil and producing noise for a long time running. Deye Hybrid Inverter supports smart load application. This means the diesel generator can provide an output directly to the load. When the PV power is sufficient and battery bank SOC exceeds 95%, Smart Load Port will switch on automatically and power the load connected. When the battery bank SOC is less than 90%, the Smart Load Port will switch off automatically. Deye Hybrid Inverter supports grid peak shaving application for reducing your electricity bills. The Deye Hybrid Inverter allows user to set maximum amount of grid power to be utilized by the load, and remaining energy can be supplemented by PV or battery bank. In this situation, the mains grid electricity rate will drop dramatically. With AC couple feature, Deye Hybrid Inverters can be used to retrofit existing solar systems. The microinverter plant can be easily integrated to energy storage system via the diesel generator port of hybrid inverter without spending expensive power station renovation costs. Also, even when there is grid failure, the whole system still can work well. The Deye Hybrid Inverter can be fitted in one system with up to the maximum of 16 pieces in parallel, thereby increasing the capacity of the system to 80 kilowatts or 128 kilowatts. What's more important, the parallel system is compatible with different grid types. With the advanced control algorithm, the parallel system does not need additional control device and provides a system which is both stable and reliable.
Great. Um, let's go back to the solutions and all the type of inverters that you can find as hybrid inverters with Deye. And we have a question in the chat box. Thank you, Steve, for the question. And the question is, if our grid power supply it's 127, 220 volt, 50 hertz, uh, three phase, what solution you can use or you can have? So that's a really good question, Steve. Fortunately, with Deye, uh, you can fit the three-phase solution for low voltage applications, so that it's 127 to 20, regardless of the in this case the frequency. So you can have it at 50 hertz or 60 hertz. It's completely set up free whenever you are commissioning the product. So you can have 60 or 50 hertz solution, low voltage applications. So that's really good because we know across the Caribbean there are a bunch of different grids and grid needs. So you can fit it basically to whatever grid you will find, 60 or 50 hertz, three-phase low voltage. In this case, it's completely good to go, okay? Really important here is the 16 pieces that you can put in parallel, 16 inverters that when you in this case is for only single phase split phase solutions. When you do that with a 12K inverter, well, then you will have a really big project that you can fit with Deye solutions. So it's not only for residential solutions, but you can as well get really good solutions for commercial and small industrial, okay? The smallest hybrid inverter, three-phase, Henrik, that we have that question from Henrik, it's 12 kilowatt, okay? The smallest inverter for three-phase low voltage, 12 kilowatt, okay? Perfect. If you still have questions, let me know via the chat box, and that would be really, really good as well. Perfect. Let's go on. So, how about the architecture? How we can fit the DJ in your projects? So, really easy. We have this is the main, let's say, main diagram for a DJ application. It's important to let you know that you can use and install the DJ inverter without a battery, and this is very important and very good, because if the customer at the beginning doesn't want a battery or can afford a battery system, then you can install the system completely on grid, and then, well, not only on grid but as well hybrid with a generator or with an AC coupled system that they had before, for example, with microinverters, and then in the near future add the battery system to the project, and then you will have a completely backed up project. But at the beginning, you can always install the inverter for on-grid application and basically have a solution working without batteries. You can fit it with also not only with PV systems but also with in this case air generators. So it works really good with both, and you will have two different type of solutions for the on-grid solution directly with the main loads, and then as well a backup system or a backup in this case um, part of the house. Then you can have as well that connection. I'm gonna be a bit more um, into this in a few moments. I'm gonna be a bit deeper on this. Okay. Um, I have another question from David. One inverter has connection to the three phases? Yes, one inverter can have the connection for the three phases. So you will have both. You can have only a single phase inverter. Uh, you can as well fit it to do three phase with three equipment, but that's not the easiest way of doing it. And then you have only three phase inverters, as I'm gonna show you the connection diagram in a few seconds. Okay, so let's go with the split phase equipment. The split phase equipment, they are available with 5 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, and 12 kilowatt powers. The equipment is, as you can see it here in the photo, really important is that the equipment has everything it needs inside. You don't have to put extra equipment outside the inverter. You only have to connect the batteries, connect the generator if you have it, connect the grid, and connect the backup panel as well. Uh, it's really easy. It's a all-in-one solution. Just uh, plug and play. Okay, so you will have the color, the touch LCD panel here to set up the inverter as well, and you can do it in the site, or you can do it via the application that I'm gonna show you up in a few seconds. Um, you can put, as I mentioned, 16 pieces in parallel. Um, the max discharging current in this case is 250 amperes, so you can charge and discharge really, really fast your batteries and the whole system. So that's really, really good to have. And you can, with these split phase inverters, you can have the hybrid application with the genset, the batteries, and the photovoltaic system. You will have the 4 milliseconds automatic switch time. That's really important because with those 4 milliseconds, you will not get a power outage or get your AC or your Wi-Fi system turned off when the transition goes in, the switch goes in. So that's really, really good. You can as well do peak shaving, as you saw in the video. You can as well set it up for time of use and buy from the grid energy when it is at low price and sell it when it's high price as well. You can work out the system. If you don't put a genset, you can work it out and put it together with a AC couple prior system. So if a customer already has, for example, microinverters with an on-grid system in the roof, you can feed the DG to have a backup system as well and work it as a UPS or whatever the configuration of the customer may want. And really important, you can grow up the system as you need. important as well, the free monitoring platform. We'll be getting a bit more detail in the in next slides as well. So the platform for monitoring is completely free. You can download the app via Android and via iOS, and you as well can have it directly in your browser in your computer. So we will be talking about that in a few moments as well. This is the split phase hybrid inverter. Just a quick reminder, 5 to 12 kilowatts, and you can put it up to 16 inverters in parallel. Let's go to the three phase solutions. So the inverter, it's really, really, uh, let's say, close to the split phase solution. But in this case, we can have the 12 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, up to 60 kilowatt as well with the newest inverters as well. Um, this is as well, you can put this equipment up to 10 pieces in parallel. This is really good for commercial and industrial solutions. So if you put 10 of the 60K inverters in parallel, you will have 600K hybrid solution. So that's really interesting as well. Here, the current of charge on this chart goes a bit down. It goes to 100 amperes only, but it works really good as well for these type of solutions. Same thing as with the single phase solution. You can do time of use, peak shaving, put it with an AC coupled system prior with microinverters or whatever AC coupling you would want with a prior system that the customer has. And as well, it can support the genset from the customer. It can turn on and turn off completely that genset and control it with the inverter, and can work with, in this case, is not a low voltage battery, but all the three phase solution and the three phase hybrid inverters work with high voltage batteries. So the in this case, the design is going to be a bit different due, in this case, to that matter. Yes, the output is completely programmable, Steve. You can program it to go 127 to 20 volts, three phase, 50 hertz. So yeah, that's completely up to you, even 50 or 60 hertz. Okay. 100 ampere per inverter. That's a really good question, Volton. It's 100 ampere per inverter, not per solution. So the solution can grow up when you put parallel equipment. So it would go up with each inverter you put in parallel. Okay. Um, let's see a little bit about the connection. This is for the split phase solution. So these are the basically the ports that you would use for your inverter. So this is how you have the underneath part of the inverter. So here you will have everything as I mentioned. You don't have to get extra equipment for the monitoring. You don't have to have extra equipment for the commission for the communication of the equipment. You don't need a smart meter outside the inverter. Everything is built in the equipment. So the only thing you will need outside the equipment is just the CTs, and you can do, of course, zero export program with this type of inverters. So if you don't want to export any energy to the grid, or you can't do it due to a regulation of your country, of the island, it's up to you to just program the zero export in this case using the CTs. So you will have here basically a bunch of connections. One of course, the grid connection is the most important thing. So for the split ones, you have two lines and the neutral. It goes in in this place, and then you can connect the CTs that they have their own connection here. And whenever you are installing one of these equipment, we will help you out with the first commissioning, and then as well to program the inverter. But as well, you can see that all the connection lines for the CTs are completely integrated in the equipment. Um, we have as well the entrance for the PV. This equipment goes from 2 MPPTs up to 4 MPPTs. So depending on the power, it will be more PV connections or less. It will be up to in this case, the power of the inverter. And as well as you can see here, you have the connection for the grid, the connection for the generator, and the connection for the load. This load, it's the main load that you want to, of course, cover. And basically, that's it for the inverter. Whenever you, for example, your customer doesn't have a genset in their system, you can completely avoid this and, for example, use this gen port to connect directly an AC coupled system. So micro inverters or string inverters that the customer already has in their roof, you can connect it here without a problem. Okay. Uh, we have a question from Bolton. What if the main is some distance from the inverter? How do we install the CTs? That's a really good question, Volton. That's something that we can cover out with the design of your system. So it's if it is really far away, in this case we can do some arrangements with the CTs to get some longer communication system. So if you need an outside smart meter, that's something that you can connect as well. So yeah, that's something that we can cover in a specific project, and then we can solve it out. For example, with a external smart meter or with jumpers of the CTs, and make sure that the voltage, that the main voltage for the CTs is working okay. So that's something that we can discuss with a specific project and then design it properly for your needs. Okay, let's go to the three-phase connection. In this case, it's the same. The inverter inside look very, very familiar and very similar to a single-phase inverter. And you will have the same connection. So the grid connection, in this case, all the connections for the CTs. In this case, you will have three CTs as it is a three-phase connection. You will have as well this place to connect your genset, and as well the place to connect the main loads that you want to cover as well. So then we will send you out this presentation. You can have a look at it as well. In the installer's manual, we will have all the details for this. So if you have any questions regarding this after the webinar, please feel free to write us or call us to be a bit more specific on this as well. Um, I have a question as well from Henrik. If I have a project at 15 kilowatt with a grid 12208 three-phase, how many hybrid inverters are needed and type? In this case, for a 15 kilowatt project, you will use only one inverter, Henrik, and that inverter will be, for example, the 12 kilowatt inverter that it goes directly to that specification of grid, as in this diagram here of connection. So you have three lines, a neutral and the ground. So basically you go directly. You don't need any other accessory on any other equipment. So that's the way you will go for one of those projects that you mentioned. Okay. Okay. Uh, this is a parallel connection when you have more than one inverter. As well, I'm gonna share this presentation, so if you can have a look at this a bit later with more details, feel free to do it. In this case, you will program one of the inverters as the master inverter, and then the other ones will be the slave inverters. In this case, we have three inverters in this connection. So the first one, and this is number one. In this case, number one goes directly connected to the battery system and to the genset if you have the genset as well. So the master inverter will be the one that is going to be in charge of the whole battery pack, and as well with the genset. The other ones are gonna be just slave inverters and gonna be under the control of the master inverter. Okay. If you do it in three phase, the diagram of connection is still it's a bit more complex due to more lines, but it's still the same. And as well, the battery system is going to be connected only to the master inverter, and then that will be controlling all the battery system, the genset, and the other slave inverters as well. You here you can see that they all appear as a master, but you only have to connect one uh, directly to the battery pack and to the genset to work it out properly. Okay. Um, Henrik, does this 12 kilowatt have all three legs on it? Yes, it has all three legs on it, as you can see here in the diagrams of connections. Perfect. Regarding the certifications and basically all the product R&D, well, the product is completely certificate under UL and IEC regulations. So it's not only UL compliant, but also IEC compliant. So it doesn't matter if you have agreed that it's US or European version. You can fit it whatever it is. So it's really, really easy to in this case configure the equipment and choose the grid you need, and it's completely certificated for both regions, UL and IEC. So you just have to let Natalia or Laura know which configuration you have, and then we can help you out to get the proper inverter in this case. But as I mentioned, it's everything completely configurable, and it works really good for both regions. Okay. Uh, okay, let's talk about how you can configure the equipment. So in the main screen of the inverter, the LCD screen, you can basically program the inverter as you need. So this is all the, let's say, the map of configuration that you can have. And in the main screen, you can configure everything. You can see the monitoring, and you can configure the system as you need. So you will have the solar graphs here. You will see the grid graph as here as well. Um, you can see the load graphs. You can see the BMS, how it's working. So this is basically a monitoring device inside. So if you want to use the screen, you can do it. And as well, you can set up all the systems from here as well. So you can change the battery setting that you want. You can change the type of configuration for the equipment, and you will see how many the equipment has. The grid settings, the generator, and the genset system as well. You can here control it. So for example, the percentage of battery that you want to have in your backup system to start up the generator. If you wanted to set it up to the 50% of the battery system, or you wanted to set it up at 30, 15, whatever the number is, you can set it up. And basically here you can have all the configuration of the equipment as well in the site. Um, which are uh, the type of configuration or the type of systems that that you can have with Deye, and how you can configure the inverter. Where well, there are five different solutions or different ways of doing it. First one is basic. It's basically giving yes, priority of the usage for the solar and the battery system. So it's a system as you see it here. So solar, battery, grid, backup loads, and main loads for the user. This is completely standard. Then you can use it as well with a wind turbine. So it's a bit different on how it works internally. But if you have a wind turbine, you can do it completely uh, let's say pre-programmed by the manufacturer, so it works really, really well as well. If you set genset, then you have the mode with generator. Then you can set it up, and you add to the basic system the genset. If you have a smart load that you want to control, then you as well can set it up to get the smart load. If you want to do the time of use here as well, you can program it with time of use. And let's say the final one, it's AC coupled system. So if you are using a prior system or a AC coupled system, for example, with microinverters, you can as well choose it in the mode of use. So it's really wide range of modes, and as well as I mentioned, you can configure any of those as you may need. Um, let's go to the batteries. As I mentioned, all the split phase solutions work with low voltage batteries. So that's 48 volts battery systems. That it's really important. It can be fitted with lithium ion or gel, let's say lead acid batteries as well. So you don't, doesn't need to have only lithium ion batteries. You can as well use it with older, or let's say more um, more regular batteries with the gel and AGM solutions as well. We usually recommend to use these Deye inverters with the Pylontech batteries. Those are the ones that we carry and we sell usually. Uh, and those are the ones that we properly have used in the past, and we know it works really good. So the BMS has a direct communication. You don't have any problems connecting the Pylontech with the Deye inverters. You can monitor the batteries via the inverter easily, so you don't have to have two different platform monitoring platforms to see how's the state of the battery. So it goes directly through the Deye monitoring system. But if, for example, you don't use Pylontech, or you have your own battery manufacturer that works, and you like or prefer, you can use it. This is the whole list of batteries that are approved, so it's a really wide list. And remember, split phase solution, low voltage system for the batteries, 48 volt systems. For the three phase solutions, then we're gonna go to the high voltage battery systems. So it's gonna start the battery systems in 120 volts, and from then it goes up. So of course, if you are using high voltage solutions, we can help you out as well with the Pylontech solution with the Force L1, L2, the H3, H2, H1 systems. So you can find out with us the compatibility, the perfect compatibility for both three phase or single phase solutions in storage. Okay. As well as I mentioned before, Deye has its own battery solution as well. The core products that we usually fit in this case are the SE G5.1 Pro. These are the ones that usually goes with the residential solution, the split phase solutions. And then if you go up to the three phase solutions, we'll have to review which is the most suitable system, but then it's a different one, and you can have a look at here. Mainly is the BOSG batteries that can be basically stacked up to get the the amount of energy that you will need to store with the system. Okay. So the batteries, the Deye batteries, we can have them by request. So if you want to get the whole system with Deye, that's no issues at all. You can do it. And if you want to fit it with other manufacturers, just make sure that it's in the list that I showed here before. Okay. Let's go and talk about a bit about in this case, the cloud app store, the cloud app for Deye. So as I mentioned before, it's a completely free app. You can get it directly in the for iOS and as well for Android. Here is a look of what you can do here through the app. First of all, you as installers are gonna get the complete list of projects that you've done with the brand. So you can have here all the projects and have a small review of how it's working at the moment. So if it is online, if it's working normal, if it has some warning, so you will see it right away. then the power that it's generating and the capacity in the storage system at the moment. So you can have a really fast review of how what is going on with your projects in your cell phone. Then if you go into one of those projects, then you will have this power flow chart. So it's completely live. So you will see at the moment how it's working the system. So if you are producing from the PV, how much is producing and where it's going that energy. If you have the battery in a let's say charging mode or it's discharging energy, you will see here how it's the power and the energy flow from the system. So it's really really easy to see, and as well the customer, the end customer can see it easily as well in their monitoring apps. You can have more detailed information in the dashboards. So if you go in, you can review it by day. So each day you will have basically the charts to see how the system is behaving, what is going on. You can change up here the configuration as well. So if you wanna configure the equipment differently, you can do it via this place. And as well you can see about well the power profile and see what's going on with the customer and their system in the past. So this is completely configurable. So you can see a day, you can see a month, you can see a full year. You can configure out this really easy in your smartphone. Then as well, if you don't want to see it in your smartphone and you have for example, at your office, a center of command or a monitoring system, then you can have as well in your desktop the Deye system. It's directly into the browser. You just have to log in with your account, and then you will see everything about that project. So it's really easy as well to access via the browser and completely free. That's really, really important. You don't have to pay anything to get your projects completely monitored. Okay. Mm, we have a question from Alex. Thank you, Alex, for the question. It is possible to use a three-phase inverter with 15 kilowatt hour battery storage as an UPS only without solar panels. In the future, we would like to add some panels to the system. Yes, that's completely open, Alex. You can work and install the Deye inverter as a UPS without solar. So if you don't have solar or any renewable energy source, you can install the inverter and use it as a UPS. No issues at all. So you can install the inverter with the battery. If the customer has a genset, you can as well fit it in the system, and it will work really good. And then in the near future, get the customer to put solar. Yes, that's something you can do easily. So there are places, I don't know, for example, in Ecuador, there are power shortages right now that are happening really, really often. A bunch of customers are using these Deye inverters to have a UPS in their homes. So you can have a really big power in the inverter with a really big as well battery system fitted with that inverter without using solar. So if they for example live in apartment and they don't have access to a roof to put solar, they can as well fit it for their systems. Okay. um, let's talk about a little bit about the warranty. So Deye has a warranty of 5 years. This is the base warranty. You can get it up to 10 years as well, paying an extra. Depending on the inverter, the extra it's a bit higher, a bit less. We can send you out those prices for you to know as well. But you will have 5 years base warranty. Okay. um, Very very important is to keep that warranty. You have the standard, let's say, warranty, um, let's say, yeah, like the warranty excluding damages, and that's basically if you open up the sealant and well open up the inverter and break the seals, well, obviously the inverter will not be under warranty. If, for example, the inverter is completely broke and gets damaged during, for example, transportation, it won't be covered by the warranty. And of course, if it is not correctly installed or commissioned, of course, it won't get a warranty. But those are the, let's say, base warranty conditions of every brand. And to help you out, start working with Deye. We will we will help you out first of all with the commissioning for example, for the first project that you are doing with Deye. We will help you out with remote live support and all the assistance you will need during the commissioning for of the inverter. That it's really easy for you as well, and make sure you are commissioning the inverter properly, that you are doing the proper things in the project. Second, you will have a remote technical support 24/7 basically for all the level 1 issues. So whatever you may need, you can let us know and we will support you directly as Meiko Solar, and we will solve out basically everything you will need in remote technical support. And then all the warranty management is going to be through us. So if you have a problem with one of these inverters, you do all the warranty management through us. We will raise up a ticket and then we will solve out your warranty. You don't have to go directly to Deye. We will do it for you. Deye has a team in Mexico and has a team in Central America as well as in the States. But in this case, we will be your first and direct line for all the warranty management. So whatever problem you will face during the operation of the equipment, you can go directly through us and we will help you out to solve it in record time. Okay. Um, let's go ahead. Mm, just for you to know, uh, we've been in the Caribbean market for 6 incredible years. So we are one of the largest and oldest distributors in the region. And the idea for us is basically help you out with all your projects. So as I mentioned, you can count on us on getting product from the States in Florida next day, free shipping, or you can as well use our Panama and Dominican Republic warehouses to get a product with the best pricing, a bit longer lead time, but the best price in market. So this is very important. We are here to help you out. Deye is one of the newest solutions that we are working for the Caribbean. We've been using it for Central America since a few months, and it's working really good. And as I mentioned, we are here to help you out. So whatever project, whatever need you will have with this type of inverters, with this type of solutions, make sure to reach out to us. It's really easy. You can write an email directly to me or to Natalia or to Laura, and we will be there to help you out with your project, with your need as soon as possible. Okay? Uh, Thank you, everybody, for being here with us today. If you have any question, please leave it in the Q&A box or in the chat box as well. I'll be here for a few minutes to try to solve every question that you will have. And as well, just for let you know, in our webpage, makeosolar.com, you can as well chat with us. So if you have any question, you can go as well to the chat in our webpage, and then you will have a really fast reply. Um, we have a question from Alex. So Alex is the question is three-phase hybrid inverters, high voltage with works with a grid of 127 to 20 volts for Aruba. Yes, Alex. So let's say to answer that question, yes. The three-phase hybrid high voltage system works with the grid in Aruba that it's 127 to 20 volt. Yes, you can use the 12 kilowatt up to 60 kilowatt inverters directly in Aruba. You don't have to put anything else in that system. Also, for this inverter, the DC max VOC is how much? This is to know how many panels we can add to one string. That's a really good question. So you can fit to these inverters modules up to 700 watts of power. So the VOC, I can send you out all the data sheets for you to review the exact numbers, but you can basically fit these systems with the newest and high power modules in the market. So it's not limited to that. And as well, the let's say the extra that you can, for example, the extra power that you can put in solar, it's about 130%. So if you use a 10K inverter, you can put 13 kilowatt peaks in modules, and that's perfectly fine for the system as well. Okay, so you can as well oversize the system in solar, and that would be really good as well for your production and your system. I have another question from Darren. Darren, is there a load imbalance ratio with the single phase inverter when operating off grid? Uh, just for understand better the questions, Darren, what are you referring with the imbalance ratio? Um, when you are operating off grid, if you can maybe give me more details about the question, that would be great so I can understand it a bit better and answer it properly. Okay. Uh, Once again, we will be sharing this presentation. We will be sharing uh, the equipment data sheets. We will be as well sharing the installation manuals so you can have a look at how to connect the equipment. We will be sharing the video that you see and other videos that you can have a look on how to install, how to commission everything that you will need for these Deye inverters. And as well, for example, very important as well, the pricing. So we will share as well the pricing of the inverters and the inventory that we have in the region, just for you to know. And as well, if you have some projects, let's start working on them with Natalia, with Laura, or directly with me as well. mm, okay. Perfect. So thank you everybody for being here with us. um, I see that you have more questions. I'm gonna reply this question directly to you, Darren and Alex, just to uh, not extend the webinar and to cut the webinar at the proper time. So I will be replying these questions directly to you via email. So I will be back to you really soon with that those replies. Okay. Um, Thank you everybody for being here with us. It's a pleasure to have you here. We will be doing some other webinars for specifically the Caribbean market and products for the Caribbean market in the near future. So please be open and look after your email and your WhatsApp. We'll be sharing the new invitations really soon as well. So thank you everyone. Let's keep in touch, and whatever you may need, feel free to contact us via our webpage or directly into our emails or WhatsApp numbers. Okay. I will give you as well, I will put the number of our Florida office. So whenever you are in Florida, please feel free to visit us. This is the address, this is the number as well. So whatever you may need in Florida, feel free to contact us. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon and see you soon in the next webinar.